So greetings everybody. So this is just a video that I'm showing about the c-2 grayhound that I built. So basically it's just a card model that I purchased online, and I basically made it into an RC. So the whole plane is made out of foam, and I use hot glue. So those blades that you see on it now, they're just a mock-up of the actual blades that I am going to create. So I can use it for this aircraft. I've done it before with my Q400 on my old Vuviac channel on my YouTube, which I did it with a Q400. I made the Q400 blades. So I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'll make these into real blades at work. So basically this plane is, it can also be a static model because the inside of this airplane is also detailed like the real plane. The cockpit is detailed. It's got the rear doors, cargo bay doors, which is kind of hard to see because it's not lit up. I will put lights inside. The little lights that I use for my 1 in 87 scale or 82nd scale models I can stick in here to get the interior to light up. So it'll be just like a real, basic static model. Static or flying model or flying aircraft, whatever you want to call it. So my it was going to have flaps, but I don't need flaps. So and then it helps me reduce the weight. So I was going to put flaps, but I can adjust the flaps manually. I just don't need it. All the doors open up, even the emergency exit, what they call emergency hatch doors on top, they open up. Let's see, it has the lights, all the lights on the aircraft, the tail light, which is back there. It's got the lights that go on the front, wing lights. I'm not going to turn it on right now. The battery is loaded from the back, and I have to stick my hand in there to get the battery in. It's also going to have a FPV camera mounted. Once I actually get my FPV set up, one that's decent or one that's actually really good, if I can find one, I think it's the DJI stuff, I'll see how it runs with the head tracker. So what I want to do is have two planes, which is this plane and my Hawkeye, e-2 Hawkeye that I built, and have both of these as FPV units, in which we can fly within the cockpit, which would be really cool. Flying in the field is cool, but all you're doing is just going in circles. So I like to get the full experience, if you know what I mean. So that's why I make them highly detailed. Even this cockpit on this plane is highly detailed. It has a entry access, just like the real model. If you want to make a static model, you can make a static model out of it. If you choose not to fly it, you just don't see this type of detail with, excuse me one second, but you just don't see this type of detail with models you buy from, the general hobby store or whatever. They're not going to build them like this, so I have to do it. And then they don't, on top of that, they don't make the planes that I want, so, which is understandable. I mean, who's going to actually make a plane, with thin foam like that? But they fly real good. I mean, I haven't crashed a plane, especially a plane I built, in a long time. The high wing planes that I normally build, they tend to last as long as I have them, and then I end up, taking them apart and using the parts for something else. But they actually do pretty well. I actually haven't crashed. The only thing I think I crashed was my 747. But if you can look in there, I have the full cockpit in there. You can't see too well in there. But I've got to finish the back of this plane, the interior. And that's where the guys in the back sit for the radar. I don't think I'm going to have the radar turn. We'll see once I get to that part of the build. And then here's the, you can kind of see inside there.
Dang, that thing trying to get me. Whoosh, that thing went flying.
And the access door that also closes. So it's hard to kind of see the detail too. I'm still weathering this thing. I'm still adding stuff to it. I still got to smooth out some stuff on it, but and no, the wings don't mechanically fold out. I've got it to where I can take them off, or I can set them like this when I'm just having it sit in the house. So this plane uses a let's see, 6 cell 5,000 millihour battery. Just uses one. The same would be with this too. It'll just use one. It'll probably just use one speed control too, as this uses one speed control, and I use drone motors instead of actual the ones designated for planes. They just work so much better. They don't heat up, and they can take the big